Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 8 of season 3 of the F123 My Team career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Spanish Grand Prix, of course. If you missed out yesterday's video where we went back to Monaco, would highly recommend going back and checking it out. As you can see, apparently in the background, we're doing some simulator work from Monaco as well. Maybe we can learn how to save some fuel in the car. That's enough spoilers, though, before we get into it. But yeah, I just want to quickly say, of course, a massive thank you to all of you as well for the support on the first F1 Manager video. You know, that was really good fun to do. And actually, the views have been all right so far. I was kind of a little bit worried that F1 Manager would be a bit dead on arrival. But I think it suits our style on the channel. And I'm really looking forward to jumping in and playing more of that game in the near future. But of course, yeah, we got my team though. That's the big priority at the moment, and we actually need to do some upgrades to the team as well as we jump into this weekend. Now, we could afford to spend basically all of our money and upgrade Albon's pace stat. However, I think he's pretty much maxed out, isn't he? Yeah, 87 experience, 100 racecraft, 97 awareness, and 97 pace. Alex Albon is an absolute baller so far in this series. We do need to put some fresh engine components, though, into the car before we jump into the weekend as well. But yeah, going to try and therefore go with some pit equipment upgrades, and we'll go with a better analysis suite as well. So, you know, spending that cash money where needed. We'll try and get some more R&D points as well. Not that we need them at the moment. But championship-wise, Sergio Perez now with a 24-point lead at the top of the table ahead of his teammate Max Verstappen. Red Bull have still won every single Grand Prix so far this year, despite the fact they've had 3 DNFs as a team as well. Albon took the team's first podium as well last weekend, but we're still yet to do better than 7th place this season. I'm hoping Barcelona this weekend we can finally better that result. Right, well, heading into qualifying then here from Barcelona. Really have felt like with these most recent upgrades, I haven't quite been able to maximise what I need out of the car just yet. And I think Barcelona, obviously with the strict track limits, is going to be a tough old test as well, especially those final couple of corners. But it's the best way to learn. Of course, at the time of recording this, I've got a league race tonight, my first one of F123. That will be going up, highlights from that within a couple of days over on my second channel as well. Almost at 8,000 subscribers over there, so I'd love it if you could help me get one step closer to 10k. But yeah, first lap though here in qualifying, all about just trying to make sure we get into Q2, so just trying to keep it tidy. I'm opting for quite a lot of downforce this weekend. We know we've got good straight line speed in the car, obviously we know just how powerful the DRS and the battery can be as well, so I'm hoping corners like Kampsa are going to be easy flat in qualifying trim there. And look at that, yeah, easy flat as we make our way up the hill. Just a couple more corners to go though on this first Q1 run. Just got to make sure we keep it tidy. Just trying to make sure that we're not scrubbing off too much speed into the corner. You really can carry a lot of speed now, obviously on the exits with this new upgrade on the car. One more corner to go though. Basically pinned. Actually, yeah, easy flat through there as well, up towards the line. A 110. And there we go. We go 4 tenths behind our teammate Alex Albon. But that should be Q2 immediately. Well, I don't think anyone would have believed that sub 110 would have been possible here at Barcelona, or even just a couple of seasons ago. But all the new track changes that they've made really have made this place a lot more fun. Haven't really improved the overtaking opportunities that much, but certainly, you know, at least the track is a bit more fun to drive there, as that final corner really does feel like a bit of hanging on early. Might be a case of trying to get into 6th gear there, allow the front end to rotate through, and then having a bit more power on the exit as well. But anyway, we want to try and be aiming then for those 109s. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there through turn 1, but we correct it quickly. Trying to make sure we're not tensing up too much as well, actually. I think that's been one of the other problems that I've been doing a bit too much on these qualifying runs recently, is getting too tense, and that's what's making me make the mistakes. So make our way through the final couple of corners again. We were purple through here in Sector 1, so we seem to absolutely fly through these final couple of turns. 6th gear, though, probably not the way to go about it. Actually, Perez sets a 109, as we only go P9 there. It is better than our Q1 time, but we definitely dropped to 10th or 2 in that final corner. Well, rain is apparently on the horizon then before the end of qualifying, so we're going to try and actually get on with it with my second run here in Q2. I mean, it might be that if the rain arrives, we would have been safely through anyway, but really don't want to leave anything to chance at the moment. Do not need another Q2 exit in this series. But yeah, hopefully we're going to find a few more tenths, maybe up towards Alex Albon's pace. And then obviously, if we can do that, we should make our way into Q3 nicely, as that was a bit of a tidier run through turn 2, using the track width and finding another tenth of a second. Oh, come on. 2 more corners to go. Let's see if we can find any time through the final corner, leaving 7th gear, try and keep it pinned, a tiny blender throttle. Actually, not finding anything there. We'll stay P9. No improvement. Will other cars be able to go quicker? We've got no more sets of tyres. And the rain once again then has not arrived here in Barcelona. George Russell fastest on a 109.3, but 7 tenths away from our teammate Alex Albon there. It's back-to-back P13s on the grid. What are we meant to do at the moment? I guess all we can do is knuckle down and prepare ourselves for the race. The AI are often very, very strong though in qualifying trim here at Barcelona, so we've just got to try and claw it back.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, and it hasn't been used since 2007. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Albon, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Hamilton, Norris, Gasly, Magnussen, Mr. Monaco, Perez, De Vries, Théo Pourchaire, Bottas, Liam Lawson, Joe, Stroll, Sargent, Fittipaldi, and Yuki Tsunoda. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Right, well here we are then, ready on the grid for the Spanish GP. And look at that, under 40 minutes. The estimated race time here is actually rather impressive as well. Is the pit lane? No, that reckons 2-stop is definitely not the way to go today. I'm apparently ruining all of them by the looks of it. So yeah, we'll get rid of that. 14 laps on a set of the soft compound tyres, followed by a 19-lap run on the mediums in the second half of the afternoon. Might want to try and extend that first stint, but Sergio Perez alongside me with a grid penalty. Can I use him today to try and get back towards the front? Right, let's do this thing. Ready for the Spanish Grand Prix. Waiting on those 5 red lights. Nice lights out, and away we go. Well, not if you're Lando Norris there. That's going to be a couple of freebies immediately. Oh, Oscar Piastri, his former teammate as well, not going anywhere. So immediately then, up to 7th place as we head down in towards the first corner. Just going to try and keep it somewhat clean there, side by side with Esteban Ocon as well. And look at that. We're immediately up to where we'd expect to be fighting here in Barcelona. There's 6 places, gained off the start of this GP. They're right now in line behind our teammate Alex Albon. There is a little bit of contact with Esteban Ocon, who tries to dive it back up the inside off of turn 4. But yeah, we will take that. One of my best starts, I think, on F123, especially in the dry. Often in the wet, things can get a little bit crazy and dramatic between the AI. But Max Verstappen prime position at the front of the field as we head up the hill there. Can Red Bull make it 8 wins in a row? Obviously, almost as good as what they're doing in real life 2023, but yeah, the less of that said, the better, I think, at the moment. But Carlos Sainz, the homeboy, slotted into P2 then immediately, so I'm sure he'd love to walk away with a podium this weekend. Of course, after Fernando Alonso's retirement from the sport, our only Spaniard again left on the Formula One grid. But yeah, Hamilton, though, running up in P3, I'm sure wants to rewrite the wrongs of last weekend. Sorry, no, that's George Russell, isn't it? We've overtaken Hamilton off the start of this race, caught up in all the commotion. His yellow flag's out. Oh, it's Ocon. Ocon immediately dropping out then of the Spanish Grand Prix, and clearly those Renault power units cannot handle the heat. Verstappen, though, I think he's just trying to create a little bit of a gap at the front of the field early on, but Carlos Sainz is not dropping away from him. As we are still hanging on to Alex Albon, of course, need to try and make sure we're inside the DRS range of our teammate. As Ferrari, I'll tell you what, they look racy early on here. They've been rather inconsistent, so have Mercedes so far this year. Again, a bit like real life, where one weekend one of those teams might be able to hold a candle to Red Bull, and then other weekends they're just nowhere near. But yeah, Albon, though, able to hang on to them as I need to try and find a couple of tenths. Leclerc and Russell side by side down at turn 1. That gives Albon and I a bit of an opportunity. As Albon now nestled in behind him, but again, it's been the story so much in recent races, just don't quite have the same sort of pace as our teammate here. Hamilton now trying to apply some pressure as well, so maybe we'll end up letting the Merc pass and hope that he can latch us on for that gaggle. But yeah, it's Sainz versus Verstappen at the front of the field of two former Toro Rosso drivers all the way back in 2015. Scary to think that was almost a decade ago. I am really getting old. It's close to track limits out of the final corner, but are we going to see Hamilton now get a run on me as we head back down towards turn 1? Yes, we are, like a rocket ship. That Mercedes going to get to the inside down at turn 1, and well, we're really not going to try and fight it all too much early on here. 7th place would still equal our best result so far of the season, but yeah, we really do need to be doing better than that now in what is a very competitive car. Starting to have to blend the throttle out of the final corner, but I tell you what, we're sticking to Hamilton quite nicely at the moment. Sergio Perez now on his set of soft compound tyres has worked his way up to 8th place then, so both of us getting back to where we should be. Thanks, Lewis. That'll be the easiest move I make. Okay, Leclerc as well with issues apparently, so he might slow Russell and Albon down just a little bit as well. But yeah, Hamilton kind of handing me back 6th place. Here we go then, Russell again, having a look around the outside of Charlie. That's not going to help us though. Don't be a warning, thank you. I was going to say, we definitely didn't gain an advantage from that one, although maybe in real life the FIA might have still given us a warning for that. Apparently, I mean, they just give warnings for anything now, don't they, at the moment? But to be fair, it makes more sense than what it used to be, where you could just do whatever you felt like. Charles Leclerc, though, dropping down into 5th place. He's still actually got the run on Albon, which goes to show just how not particularly great this car is down the straights. That Charlie boy, despite with an engine problem, is just as quick still. But will we now be able to get up to him? Not quite close enough to Leclerc as we head back down in towards turn 1, but he is definitely losing a lot of time at the moment, basically everywhere around this venue. So need to try and get round him and make sure that Hamilton doesn't follow me by. But yeah, we've got 4 cars now. Basically our top 4 front-running teams just locked into a line. Whoa! It's been a while since I locked the rears on F123. That was scary. Managed to gather it up off the corner. I reckon we just nicked the grass with the outside rear right. That was... yeah, I to be honest, I'm speechless that I managed to hang on to it, because I was expecting just to go right round there. As Charles Leclerc, though, going defensive on me. We should be able to get, whoa, contact between myself and the Ferrari. Amazed that isn't a warning again, to be honest, but clearly the game having a bit of leniency on those exits. But we're through, and yeah, I'm not really sure why Leclerc was fighting that as aggressive as he did, to be honest. It was always going to be that he was going to lose the place there, as having to blend the throttle more and more at that final corner. But now we've got to try and run away as we head back down towards turn 1. Hamilton is going to fly past Charles as Albon and Russell, the other Merc and Audi, duking it out up the road. Well, not getting the best run out of the final corner again, as just over 1/3 distance. Already starting to think about when we're going to pit in this GP, but I don't think Hamilton is going to get past me this time. So make it down in towards turn 1. Soft tyres definitely starting to slip and slide a little bit. Trying to be smooth as we can on the steering and on the throttle. Definitely has felt like a better race car than qualifying, but I feel like everything has kind of fallen into place up to now. We might be able to get a bit of an undercut, give ourselves a bit of breathing. Whoa, Lewis, hello. Lewis Hamilton, going for a cheeky bit of a send there. A little bit of contact to myself and the Merc. Don't think we can undercut our teammate by 5 seconds in this GP. In fact, no, Albon's up to P3, so he can be on for back-to-back podiums in this series, as I still haven't seen a trophy so far this year. But whoa, again locking the rears, and again just about gathering it up. That was again quite scary. This time around, I don't think we're going to have much say on whether Lewis Hamilton makes the move or not. I think the Mercedes is just going to fly past me. as we head back down towards turn 1. I'm eyeing up the end of 14 to pit. We need to stay in the DRS range of Lewis. Come on. A little bit of a lock up there. Perez trying to look to the inside. AI are on an aggressive race strategy today, apparently. As Perez then have a look down on the outside as we head down the hill. I'm just going to try and squeeze him out there. Show him the gravel trap. But yeah, Hamilton now will just about, I think, get out of the DRS range as well, which is really not helpful for me. But we are going to peel into the pit lane at the end of this lap. And I'm amazed, to be honest. Corners like Kampsa are still almost flat out. The final corner as well is still a blend. So I'm quite happy with how much wing we are running, because it's made corners like that far more consistent. But yeah, when you try and undercut Lewis here, I can't help but feel, as Carlos Sainz into the pit lane as well from P2. He is having the race of his season so far, been brutally consistent as Carlos, as that was scary. Make sure we get the car slowed down. Don't want to risk getting a penalty or anything like that at this stage of the afternoon, but I'll be going to come out in some dirty air, or might we find some free track space here. Quite a lot of cars actually peeling into the pit lane as Sainz, yeah, is going mediums. I pressed completely the wrong button, didn't I? That's going to cost us. Come on, get on with it. That's definitely about a 4-second stop. So we're going to lose out a lot in all of that. But back out onto the track we go. P13. We've got a big job to close up to Lewis. Handful more cars peeling into the pit lane. That is not the line through the final corner. That's the first time I messed that up today, and still no warning for it. Somehow. Magnussen. Yeah, we've definitely lost out a lot in this. Magnussen was much further behind me before we stopped. We're going to be out around Charles at this rate. There we go. Leclerc and I think Perez, yep, must be in the pit lane. So we are still going to be out ahead of Charlie Boy, which is good. But not only have we not gained a place on Lewis, we seem to have lost one to Checo Perez here. So that's going to be us really with a lot of work to do in the second half of the afternoon. I need to make sure I stay in the DRS range of Sergio, just because we need to be in that fight. Verstappen, new fast lap of the day, in 11.2 in race trim. What ridiculous speed that Red Bull has still got, but we're hanging on to the coattails of the second one there as Oscar Piastri in the pit lane. That was a nice line through the final corner as well. So where are we going to be relative to Lewis Hamilton then in this race? There is Lewis in the Merc. It's going to be neck and neck as we head down towards turn 1. So Perez has done a fantastic job getting past pair of us, but I will go right around the outside of Lewis like he's not even there down at turn 1. 15 laps to go here in Barcelona. Albon only 3 seconds up the road, so maybe Checo can drag us to our teammate. As much as I want Alex even to get a good result here, you know, we do need to prove that we can still square up to him. And we have lost the DRS to Sergio Perez as well, so he might now go in hot pursuit of my teammate, as there is George Russell heading back out. There goes Hamilton as well, so Merck's both on a move. But yeah, how can we utilise this to work for us towards the end of the race? Charles Leclerc only 2 seconds back, so he's definitely got those issues sorted. We need a good result. Also got to be very, very careful with my ERS usage at the moment. Barcelona now is a very, very heavy track on the battery, so really got to try and manage it as best as possible. I think it's another track where the AI are very, very strong on their battery as well. So got to be careful, got to manage it. 13 laps to go here, and Albon, I can see him up the road. That is the difference between us in 7th place and the podium. Our first warning of the day, but that's just how hard we're pushing at the moment. Let's try and catch the slide. Get another one immediately. Charles Leclerc 1.3 seconds back, and it's another tale of first half of the Grand Prix here at Barcelona. We can hang on. Second half, the AI just really seemed to find an extra 10th or 2. And I do literally mean another 10th or 2, because we just are there and thereabouts, but not quite with enough. Perez up to P4 though. He's now jumped George Russell, so he's going to be in pursuit of Albon towards the end. Problem I've got with Charles closing in on us as well is all the other cars that he's dragging with him. It's only Kevin Magnussen, but Kevin Magnussen scares me. Here comes Charles back down towards turn 1. Is he going to make it happen? He thought about it, but we'll slam the door. If you want to be alongside me, mate, you got to get alongside me before the corner. There's Magnussen, I'm sure, there, just rubbing his hands together, sensing opportunity. Aston Martin are definitely still clear-cut 5th best. But yeah, I mean, Piastri only in 11th though. Charlie Boy, round 2. lap 25 of 33, and here comes the Monegasque driver. Ferrari have had issues earlier on with that car, but he's trying to go on a fight back. I think sensibly I might be the only car he can really regain a place on. Unless he's got some mega pace that he fancies carrying me up there. Perez up at a P3 ahead of Alex Albon. Again, I would love for our teammate to bring home a trophy for the team, but I think there's not really a lot we can do against the Mexican. That Red Bull is still absolutely in another league. You can see the way Verstappen has just been able to keep Carlos Sainz at an arm's length throughout most of the afternoon, but we cannot let Charles get away now. Come on. Just got to keep pushing in these final remaining laps. So you can see there through Campsa, a little bit of understeer on the way in, but we're still in the range. It might well be a question of obviously these medium tyres not able to provide the long-term grip that the softs are able to. I mean, they're only on lap 12 on this set, so they haven't exactly done a whole lot of distance, but whoa. A little bit of a slip there. Come on. Well, definitely still able to hang on to the DRS at the moment of Charles there. As you can see, Magnussen just losing the range to myself, but I just cannot get close enough to him. So we head back down towards turn 1. It's not like I can save up a load of battery as well, unless I absolutely nail a lap, because it feels like I'm having to use a lot just to keep up with Charles. This is really, really difficult late on in the day. This has often been the problem here at Barcelona for me. We can stay close to the AI, but as soon as we lose the DRS range through one small error, then we kind of just lose a place to another one, and then we can stay close to them for a few laps until another small error. It's a vicious cycle. This track is horrible in that regard. Although this time around we've been able to stick a little bit closer to Charles as we head out of the final corner. 5 laps to go. We just got to drain the battery. I want to try and get back ahead of him at least just once before the end. Oh, Charles Leclerc there, very, very aggressive in his defence down at turn 1. Just thought he was going to swing more to the inside there, but he covered it off. It was a late, aggressive move. But I tell you what, Albon up the road has not let Perez break free. He's just getting on the dirty marbles. We've got to stay close. Come on, out of the final corner, even closer to Charles Leclerc this time round as we make our way back down towards turn 1. I know we've got to look after the tyres. This time around, Leclerc might have just been told by his team just to calm the defence down a little bit. Still going to try and outbrake me around the outside at turn 1, but we'll make it through. I want to have one lap where I haven't got to push like crazy just to stay with him. We've got one lap where we can control the pace. Lawson out of the Grand Prix very, very late on. That must be heartbreaking for Williams. Unfortunately, it's cost me just a little bit distracted as we head out of the final corner. Want to try and keep Leclerc at bay as best as possible, so just going to keep draining the battery as we head down towards turn 1. As well, we've got an engine. Why is something flashed up there? Gearbox is up over 60. That's okay, and clearly the team's starting to worry a little bit about the tyres there, as here goes Charles Leclerc around the outside of me. So we head up into turn 4 there, and that was very, very late on the brakes from Charles. Luckily, I'll get ahead of him before the yellow flags, so we can afford to sit back through the hairpin. Apparently not, though. Leclerc still trying to make something happen. 2 laps to go. Charles again is going to use the battery and the DRS. I have to go defensive, make my intentions clear, but he doesn't get close enough again. So we get down in towards that first corner, so we're able to clearly carry enough speed off of the final turn that we've got that little bit of extra momentum there, but this is so close right towards the end. I mean, it's only for 7th place, but it would equal my best result of the season. And to be honest, I think we've made a lot of progress anyway today. Definitely have not felt this confident in the car since all the new upgrades in the last couple of races. That was very, very close to another warning. But yeah, only being 10 seconds away from those Mercs. I know they're locked into a battle late on, but especially around Barcelona, which has not been a particularly good track for me in years gone by. I'm absolutely going to take it if we can walk away with this there in just a handful of seconds behind my teammate Alex Albon as well. Will he be able to try and get a run on Perez as we start the final lap of the Spanish GP here? We'll have to wait and see, as Max Verstappen still comfortably leading out of the front of the field. Albon gaining on Sergio down towards turn 1, but he isn't going to make anything happen. I think the Mexican might just be able to hang on. What are we going to be able to do against Charles Leclerc, though? Leclerc having a look to the inside. He's got the speed. He's got the run down towards turn 1 there. We're going to try and get later on the brakes down the outside, but it's not going to happen. Leclerc has made it back through and into 7th place of the GP, and we've just got no tyre grip there. You can see understeer on our way in towards turn 3 there. And oh, that is so frustrating on the final lap of the GP as well. Leclerc clearly just saved up that little bit of extra battery, lulled me into a false sense of security here, but Max Verstappen rounding his way in towards the final couple of corners of the Spanish Grand Prix. It has been a pretty easy drive for the Dutchman at the front of the field there. Carlos Sainz, I'm sure, will be ecstatic with P2. No! No. On the final lap of the Grand Prix, we picked up a 3-second track limits time penalty. That is heartbreaking right at the very end. So we're not even going to be able to get P7. We're not even going to walk away with P8 there. It is going to be P9 at the end of the Spanish Grand Prix. That is heartbreaking, but we have to take some of the strengths from today. We have had a lot more pace than we have in recent weeks. It's P9 here in Barcelona.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
They've done it then. A spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout, combined with the track temperatures we saw today, suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
Let's move on to the constructors. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Well, in the end, it's P9 on the final race results, but we knew we had a little bit more pace than that here today. Promising signs of encouragement, like I said, here in Barcelona. And I mean, well, Max Verstappen cut his way through the field today. Pole position, fastest lap, race victory. He absolutely dominated, you know, no doubt about that. But really, I think Perez was my driver of the day when all is said and done there. Sainz, though, was able to split the Red Bulls after another solid weekend's result for the Spaniard there. Albon in P4 ahead of both Mercs, Leclerc, Magnussen, myself, and Piastri. Means it's just the big five teams to score points once again there. And yeah, Esteban Ocon, the only driver not to get classified. Liam Lawson as well, of course, not able to make it to the checkered flag. But that means the gap at the top of the table has been cut down to 13 points between Checo and Verstappen there. Carlos Sainz in P3 ahead of Russell still, and Leclerc ahead of Hamilton. Albon with that result, though, jumps Oscar Piastri, so I think we should now be up to 4th place. Yes, we are in the Constructors' Championship as well there. Red Bull still 72 points clear of Ferrari at the top, who are 49 points ahead of Mercedes. My mental maths slowly failing me there as we continue to traverse F123. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And we'll be back very, very soon when Formula One returns, ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. Montreal returning once again. I am looking forward to that.